Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to August 3rd, THORnews 2021. My life is kind of like a game show event video thingy. Me talkie skills no good. My communication abilities seem to be suffering. And, which is not the best for me because I do a fundraiser every single month to keep THORnews up and running. And I've got like $1,138 left to go for August. And I got rent due tomorrow. So the next 24 hours for me are going to be wild. Feels like everything's on the line. But, or that's what I call the average day. For me, man, things are crazy. I'm talking about the planetary energy and how I have not had a chance to recalibrate since Jupiter retrograded from Pisces into Aquarius. Saturn. It's a giant shift that happened on the 28th of July. What I'm trying to say is all the planets on the giant ones are on the same side of the sun, causing a major imbalance. And they introduced Eris to us in like 2005. And Eris is like the planet, the goddess of discord and strife. And so it's like if Earth was a high school, the people running the high school, the narrative is like the last since 2019 till now has been very Pluto and Eris heavy. Or in 2020 it was more like Pluto, and then in 2021 is more the Eris. But Pluto is like the underworld and money. Like when you go underground, there's crypts underground, and those crypts they had treasure with golden goblets and jewels and magic swords and relics that could take you to other dimensions or whatever. So that is like what people have thought of for hundreds, thousands of years, what Pluto was, because they came up with stories for the planets in the sky, even though they could only see a couple of them, like Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars. They talked about Uranus, Eris, Neptune before we found them when we invented telescopes and shit. Because they're talking about, okay, so the 2020, 2019, now 2021 energy has been super duper Pluto, Eris heavy. Now it seems like the Eris energy, after this 2.5 year more span of everyone's strife, discord, everybody's talking about end times every day, like the rapture's tomorrow, just like where it's like, holy crap, how long can we keep this super clusterfuck shit shoe SNAFUBAR together, which is civilization. It's like 7 billion people. It's quite an ordeal. Anyway, so, but like Eris has been running the show, has the reins of the chuck wagon we're all on. Chuck wagon of society. And so things have been crazy. But hey, look, it's like a giant triangle or Christmas tree. See, Mars is here, and then anyway, so we're talking about on the 2nd, which was just right now. I'm still in Texas time. It's 11:19, but on the East Coast it's the 3rd. But on the 2nd, Saturn was in straight line opposition to Earth. Like if they're flying around, like these two planets, as they're swinging around like magic balls in the sky, like their energy is literally lined up. And so if the sun is swinging everybody around, they were kind of on the same swing plane. So I don't know, it kind of feels like, yeah, somehow the planet's energy is always connected, especially when you can see them in the sky. If you go out at night, right after dawn, you can see Venus here, and then right after dawn, but then later Jupiter and Saturn come up. You can see them in the sky every night. It's really cool. What was it talking about? What character not from the Marvel Universe do you think would be worthy of wielding Mjolnir? Dolly Parton? So this is like some weird Ulysses stream of consciousness 24-hour fundraiser that I'll be doing for the next 24 hours. I don't know how many videos I make, and they may all sound like I'm just run on sentence after run on sentence. Ooh, look! One lone sunspot has emerged. We had been going through solar minimum conditions. Not a fan, dude. Not a fan of solar minimum conditions. That's when there are no sunspots on the sun. And we went through like the max of solar minimum 2019 into 2018. And so we're coming out of it, And they say dark times come with solar minimums, and things improve during solar maximums. So we're heading towards solar maximums. And in July, we saw the sun get as active as she's been since 2017. It had 6 sunspots on it, and there was an X-class flare. And so as goes the sun, goes the weather, and a lot of times it affects people's moods, attitudes, and emotions, and the amount of energy you have. You know, it's weird. So, like, I got COVID at the end of 2019, and then now I still kind of have long COVID, and hopefully, you know, over through time, diet, and magic of God, Jesus Christ healing, I will overcome the COVID. But it's just weird that, like, people are like, you know, that I had it, and now I have long COVID, and people are like, yo, dude, no, you didn't. It's a hoax. So it's just strange that people try to tell me exactly about my experience. Like, if I ate a grilled cheese sandwich, and I was like, that was the best grilled cheese sandwich I ever had. Someone's like, nope. First of all, that wasn't grilled cheese. You had it filled with cucumbers. You had no cheese in there. And instead of bread, you just had lettuce. And it was disgusting. I'm like, dude, how would you know? You didn't even eat it. You didn't even, you know, I don't even know what you're talking about. Please don't tell me that my grilled cheese sandwich was anything other than grilled cheese. And it was delicious. But we have a sunspot. So hopefully the energy will improve. You know, and yeah, things cool down when the sun goes quiet. So I'm talking about Eris. And the next major Eris points will be like August 27th, October 9th, and then October 20th. And then we should be over the 2.5 year Eris hump. I wonder, you know, remember when Mike Brown killed Pluto? And then they named the new planet they found, which they said was bigger than Pluto, and got Pluto demoted, Eris. I wonder if they named Eris after something really cool and fun and nice and like friendship and happiness, if these years would have been happier for all of us. And so Pluto's definitely been a large part of the narrative since 2008, the Great Collapse. And then the last few years have had, I would say since 2015, have had a very Eris feel. Remember, it wasn't until like 15 years ago that this whole new energy came about and became a thing in the pantheon. And it's almost like mythology building. People had talked about Eris thousands of years ago, and then they named a planet after her. Oh, you know, there's 7 billion people. Everybody's welcome to their own belief in what God is, what Jesus is, what the planets are, what deities and demigods are. Like, everybody's allowed to extract whatever belief systems they want to out of their own perspectives and experiences through life, and they're all totally different. Like, if you were to say, hey, write down the definition of a god or goddess on a piece of paper, or even Jesus, I think everybody would write, if you had to do over 100 words, people would, you know, have different definitions. And so I think Jesus is cool, and I think Jupiter's cool. And the Jupiter opposition with Earth and the Sun is on the 19th and 20th. Hopefully, like, it will be less stressful. Technically, I've been in weird anxiety panic attack since like the 27th. I mean, that's just me throwing out words out there. But shit's crazy, man. You know, it's really weird. I keep talking about how, like, it seems to me in many ways, but not all of them, 2020 and 2021 keep mirroring each other. So, like I said, I've been kind of freaking out. I think I got down to like $15 personally, which is the lowest I've been in a year or so. And I've just kind of been freaking out since then. And then I looked at this tweet I had last year, August 24th. I said, hey, for me personally, the energy from July 27th to August 21st was horrible, maddening, and almost completely unbearable. The 22nd and 23rd were wonderful though. And here I say, 2022 will be magnificent. It's like I left notes for myself. But yeah, dude, for whatever reason, last year's August super sucked and was scary for me and no fun. And this year's August, so I mean, from the 27th till now, yeah, it's a wild ride. I don't know. In my opinion, I did a super great job last year. I made like 1,000 videos, and I called the entire coronavirus. I even called the election. I called so many things accurately. And I even left myself a note on July 28th. As soon as Jupiter retrograded back into Aquarius for Saturn, I left myself a note. The forward guidance personal forecast for myself is like the 28th of July through August 6th are going to be bumpy and filled with haters. And like, you know, really bumpy. So here we are. I got like $1,138 left to raise for the month of August, but like I said, about $350 to raise for rent if I want to make that on time. Every single month there's a cliffhanger for me. It's been like this for 5 years. Will I become one of the many who might go homeless? I don't know, man. Stay tuned. Or don't. If at some point you no longer enjoy my programming, go find something you like. What is weird these days is there are a lot of people out there who like to follow stuff they don't like. And that's just weird to me, bro. I definitely think y'all are better off having me as your planetary defense commander through the rest of 2021. But we'll see. 6.1 earthquake. Did I ever say that? India Ridge. India Ridge. Did I ever say that? Lana Bear says, I know a lot of trades have been happening, but who was this? I think it's a pretty kitty. Yeah, pretty kitty. So I left myself warning, like, hey, man, first week of August is going to suck. It might be scary. It's a weird world after all. You know, it sucked. AT&T took $165 more out of my wireless bill than they were supposed to. And so they're like, yeah, we'll just give you credit over the next few months. And so, like, if I go homeless, and I got like $165 worth of wireless internet credit that I never get to use, I'd be homeless, shaking my fist like, no! Life's so unfair. Because the next I've said it many times that I think 2022, that's when, right around April or May, that's when things will start to really, really improve. And so we got to hang on, hopefully, see who survives. Me, you, our neighbors or friends. We'll see. The Bishop, serious situation in Baton Rouge. There are no beds left. These are the darkest days of this pandemic. We're no longer giving adequate care to these patients. Like, it is exploding. Like I said, the pandemic would last like 2.5 years. And so it's going to be like surging pandemic season, and then surging wildfire season, and surging hurricane season, and then surging people not getting along season. And rumors were that Eris really didn't like men. And I mean, like she liked to see men die. But she's angry at men. Supposedly. That's the mythology. I didn't write it. I'm just talking about it. And so, you know, even in the pandemic, we've seen it hits like it kills 64% of men, and then like 36% of women. Like, I don't know, the Eris energy is just here, and it's gonna be peaking in like by the end of October. So everybody definitely needs to like hang on and know that the heavy strife and disagreements and anger and just the yelling and blaming, I don't know, man, just hang in there. I'm hanging there, you hang in there. I don't know, man. I wouldn't wish COVID on my worst enemy. I don't have any enemies. I don't hate anybody. I'm not mad at anybody. I don't blame anyone. And I say that honestly, like, you don't want to get it. I've had it. It's not fun. And so, you know, the next few months definitely be stories about who got it, who ended up on a ventilator, who died, and the people who get super triggered if anybody talks about it. Well, we're almost through the hurdle of the Eris energy. I will say it is really weird, the super undercurrent of people who have been very mad and angry at doctors and nurses, and people who think that, like, oh, all the doctors and all the nurses are in on it, man. That's just so fucking weird, bro. Puja Ladia, this is from my H-Town. The numbers are really increasing dramatically. Dr. Philip Kaiser with the Galveston County Health District at the beginning of June. We had less than 20 people in the hospital. Now we have over 100. And they have thousands of hospitals. Like, I think there's like, you know, in the USA, man. And they're all, not all of them, but like the places that are getting hit hard are really filling up fast. So I'm like talking about Earth, Eris, and Batman, or Superman, or whoever you want to choose. But you know, before the modern age, people used to, you know, before phones and computers and TV, radio, people used to look up into the sky and consider the planets and the stars gods, and they would create stories about them. But then they invented, you know, the internet and phones and radios, and they were like, in the printing press, they're like, nope, we figured it all out. You know, these are the main things you can argue on. Planets don't matter at all. And so, you know, we kind of tossed away any thoughts, you know, the majority of civilizations, like, we really pay very little attention to the planets and the stars around us. That's interesting. As capitalism and socialism and communism boomed, and the sun and the moon. What if this is my worst fundraiser performance ever? When THORnews is doomed? Oh man, I don't know. I'm just gonna try to make it through October for sure, as a human being. But like I said, this is one of the blueprints we've been looking at for a long time. That definitely, for one reason, I spent all of 2019 warning people. 2020 was really gonna shit hit the fan. Act 2. So like we are in Act 3. So stay cool. The Eris energy is definitely going to be heavy, I think. In Greek mythology, Eris is a hard goddess indeed. Let's start with the fact that she's the sister of Mars. She delights in the groans of men dying in battle. You know, people have been in spiritual warfare with each other since 2015 for sure. On the whole, mad at each other about race, religion, politics, gender, whether they like socialism, capitalism, communism, or like, I don't know. It's all very, people have, even though it's like a man at war with each other. She goes among them, increasing their pain. So from that 2019 to 2021, I definitely think we've seen an increase in all people's pain and a lot of the fun going away. It's like Thanos is here, Superbad Loki's here, Ultron's here, Eris is here. You know, and so we've seen men dying, and you know, the whole Pluto Eris, like I can't. That's why on August 3rd, if THORnews doesn't make up, I get to talk about kind of what I want to talk about, and the things that I really think that like I'm trying to tell you, just get everybody prepared for how fucking weird the last few months are. We got a lot of boss fights coming up, man. Smoke if you got them. We got a lot of boss fights coming up. But I think we'll make it through. I don't think this is the end times. I don't think the rapture is going to happen in 2021. And I think miracles always show up for me. God and Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit are always good to me. And Asteroid Fight Club has been super duper fantastic. So I think I'll still be here with you guys for the rest of the year. And hopefully I'll make it through. But a lot of that, as usual, depends on your contributions and donations. I definitely want to play right on time tomorrow. Yeah. So the Romans call her Discordia, a name that works even better than Eris. She sows discord wherever she goes. For one example, she single-handedly fomented the Trojan War and sat back laughing. Again, if you're interested, you can read all about it in the earlier newsletter. I got that from a blog. Vicious competitiveness is the dark side of Eris. She likes to win, but not as much as she likes to see you lose. Right now, humanity's losing, dude. As your Planetary Defense Commander, the guy who's been telling everybody, like, hey, let's work together. We're all the same Earth family. No matter whether we like it or not, we are the same Earth family, man. We are one big Earth family. Dysfunctional, albeit, and Eris is kicking our ass in mind control on us. Eris and Pluto, you know, like I said, Pluto's like gold, silver, crypto, like it's all money. So you got this bitch Eris. You got Pluto. That's been, and I think Saturn and Jupiter and the rest of the planets are doing a pretty good job in society. But definitely hang in there, Ulysses. So, like in the MCU, are we facing aliens, androids, and wizards? Definitely for August, September, October, it feels like wizards, and wizards would be like Eris. She got magic powers. And androids, for sure. Yeah, sure, I guess aliens. And with the whole off-world money. Wait, what was I talking about? Oh, when Jupiter did go into Pisces with Neptune, I really enjoyed that energy. And me and H put our band back together, Silver Blue Sun. So I have that to look forward to. All right, so I'm going to wrap this one up in 20 minutes. And I love you. Got $1,138 left to raise the August fundraiser. About like $350 for rent. Will I make it? And technically, I've turned in to like 8 a.m. on the 4th before the office manager gets there. So I guess I've got like 32 hours, man. 32 hours of Ulysses and me talking about whatever. And if you like it, you can watch it. If you don't like it, you could still watch it because some people still like a hate watch, which is so weird. But I will try to. I knew that the first week for me personally is going to be really weird, man. And so it is. Hey, if you'd like to contribute, I got the snail mail, a PayPal, a Venmo, a CashApp, a Patron, and a lot of love and appreciation. I promise to do my best all throughout hurricane season when it ramps up and for the rest of the year, because it's going to be crazy. All right? Thank you very much to Louisiane Buida, Barbie, Wizard of Oz, D, Courtney, JL, Andrea, Stephanie, Dusty Moon, Charles, Cephas, Pep, Nancy, and Darlene. And thank you to everybody in Asteroid Fight Club and everybody cool out there. It's crazy days, man. God bless everyone. And please stay cool.